lock my screen or home को जाने देती हूँ. क्या है? Hello. हाँ, yeah, started and joining दिखाले को है वहाँ भी. Hello.
Hi, Ajna. Start the session. Ajna, start the session.
Hello guys, good afternoon. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Once again, many are joining. Okay. Good evening to everyone and all present here. So as you know, today's workshop we are conducting of the full stack web development and machine learning, data science, and cyber security. So it is a Airobotica company. We first of all we thank to director Sheikh MD Rasul for giving this opportunity. And as you know about the company, we are giving the chatbots a solution for the many clients, and recently we have started the e-learning platform and providing the internships to all the students with training from the corporate trainers. Okay, so this is a full stack workshop. Let's discuss about all the what are the technologies related to the full stack web development and everything. Okay, and what are our services and our products. So we'll be giving the internships, bootcamp courses, data science, machine learning, full stack, mobile app development, cyber security and ethical hacking, and IoT space and digital marketing, cloud computing. So these are all the available domains which we are giving the training session for this, along with the internship certificates. So let's start with the workshop session. So myself Anis, so I'll be handling this whole session. We'll see what are the things available in the full stack web development, what are the technologies, what are the front end, what is back end, and what is database, what is domain, what is hosting, what is digital marketing, what is SEO, and what are the tools available. Let's discuss in this workshop. Okay. So if you have any doubts from your side, let's start. So my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah, okay. So you can see the website roadmap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So let me one second. So how many people are familiar with the website? So do you know what is website, how it works? Do you know what is front end, what is back end? Okay, you can just comment in the chatbot session. Okay, so Tawkir Ahmad is telling yes, no. Okay, no. Okay, fine. No, fine. Okay, let's come back to this session. So with this flowchart diagram, I'll be explaining you what are all the things available, how it is interrelated with each other, and what is front end, what is back end, database, marketing, domain, and hosting. So let's discuss with this particular chart. I won't be wasting time in showing the PPTs and just telling about the theory. Let's work on with the real time. Let's see how the website can be prepared by using the technologies such as Node.js. I'll be telling you how to create a website using Node.js, using Python, Django, Python Flask framework, and if time permits, we'll do connections with the PHP. Then we can just do with the Node.js Express 2. Okay, so that is one, MongoDB and all. So let's come back to the session. So what is the front end? So front end is nothing but if I just open any website. Suppose if I open Airobotica website itself, if I just open the website, what the things we are seeing with the front end here. So what all the stuff we are seeing, It is just coming from the front end. It is just a hard coded data that is nothing but HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, which is loading, and just we are seeing the output in the format of a structure. Okay, in this what is the thing happening in the backend? If I just press Control U, so you can see just the hard coded data is there. It is nothing but a HTML code. So it's all the HTML codes. Okay, that is nothing but it has been encoded and it has been formed in a beautiful way. That is by using HTML, CSS, JS, and it is giving us the output in the human readable way. It is just like a graphics. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, no one is. So next. So this is nothing but a front end. Front end, what are the things consist in the front end? First, we have a HTML, we have a JavaScript, we have a CSS, and even the React will be using as a front end. And the most number one framework for the front end, like most of the developers will be using, that is nothing but a Bootstrap. And it is a Pug. Pug is also like a templates. So HTML, CSS, React, Bootstrap, and Pug. I'll just open here. I'll just open one slide. So in that you can just differentiate what is HTML and all the stuffs. Okay, if I just open this, so is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So you can see here HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's take an example of a human body. Let us understand how it's all the things will work. So what is HTML? HTML is nothing but a hypertext markup language, which is used to build a structure. So you can see as an example of a human, here is nothing but it is just a structure with only the bones, nothing else. So same way, even the HTML works just like a structure. Suppose you are building any building also. So whatever the brick, cement, and sand, whatever you will be building, that will be the components. By using those components, you will build a building. Only building a building is just like a HTML. Even in the as a example of a human body, just a skeleton of the human is nothing but a HTML. It is just a structure. We use all the components. Suppose if you want to have a navbar, we'll design a navbar. We'll just construct it. So later, after constructing it, next step comes under CSS, so that we can design the website so that it looks beautiful. So suppose we need to give the colorings for it. We need to give what is the site should be there, how much padding should be there, how much border should be there, what are the padding, and we'll apply the media queries so that if persons opens the particular website into the mobile, it should be compressed and it should be look into the human readable language. Like it should not overflow the things from that. So that all things can be achieved by using CSS. So CSS is nothing but cascading style sheets, which we use for suppose if the after the skeleton is done, we'll apply like what is the color should be for the hands and what is the hair color should be there and where the how the eyes should be there. So eyes is nothing within the oval shape and like if like and next what are the clothes he is wearing, like what are the colors should be given for that particular what we call section. Okay, so that all can be achieved by using a cascading style sheet. That is nothing but our CSS. So once if you take example in the like buildings, so once the building is constructed, we'll do the paintings and what are the colors should be there, we'll add the doors and windows, everything will be done. So once it has been done, so next comes under the functionality. So JS is nothing but a JavaScript. It is an optional. If you want to add a JavaScript, it is an optional. Suppose see here, if I just open a website here, if I just refresh it. So once I refreshed it, after 2 seconds, something has been just got pop up over here. So this is achieved by using a JavaScript technology. So this thing is achieved by using a JavaScript technology. It means something the function should perform. It should be something once you open a website, if the sum of once you open a website, some functions will be performing 24 hours. Okay, that thing is nothing but a JavaScript. That something is just keep on running. If I take example in the human body over here in the presentation, so if you take example of a human, you can see the blood is flowing into our veins. So that is something like it will be keep on working it. So function until and unless if you have defined a JavaScript, definitely you will be calling that particular function wherever the required, whenever it is required. So it can be achieved by using a JavaScript. And comes to the building, if how the in the real time, if after the building, so after the building is constructed, after the painting has been done, so what is the next thing? Next thing is something like you have added a lights, you have added a what we call pipes for the water supply. Next, what is the thing? Next is a connection. So once you have added a lights, you need to give a electricity connection to it. So that is take that as example. Think that is as a JavaScript. And once the pipe has been done, the water flow show into the pipes. So once you have given the connection, then only it is possible. So in this, the JavaScript will work. So it is optional. Okay, JavaScript is optional. It is not like if you know HTML, if you know CSS, and one backend technology, you can build a website. So after later on, you can just come into the JavaScript. You can just learn this thing, because JavaScript is very like it is in very depth. You can learn. Okay, so this is how the front end thing is there. So once again, so this is the front end. So what is the front end? JS, HTML, CSS, and React and Bootstrap. I'll tell what is React and what is Bootstrap and what is Pug. So JS, HTML, and CSS. So if you take example of this, so this is how the HTML works. So HTML is nothing but a skeleton, and CSS is nothing but after for that particular skeleton, we are giving a styling, we are giving the particular structure for that particular person, let it be any section. And JavaScript is nothing but something like thing like it works. Keep on working it. Okay, if I just open this HTML, you can see it is a hypertext markup language designed for display the web browsers. Okay, and by using a CSS, we can just achieve more beautiful thing. So it is CSS. If I just open a CSS, you can see it is a cascading style sheets. So which is applied for the HTML stuffs. Even you can apply for any of the Pug. You can apply for React, all the stuff. It is nothing but we are giving a styling for the buttons, for the forms, and all the things we are just giving a styling. And JavaScript is nothing but even JS is a programming language. HTML is not a programming language. It is a hypertext markup language. JavaScript is a programming language. Okay. Then next, okay, I'll just close this PPT. So this is the JS, HTML, and CSS. So what is Bootstrap? So Bootstrap is nothing but a framework. What the developers has done here is they have used a HTML and they have used a CSS and JS. They have written a one where they have designed a framework where the developers can just take those CDN links and apply into their project. Just they can, it is like just a copy paste and just run it. Suppose if I just open Bootstrap here, if I just open a Bootstrap in the Google, you can see it is a responsive. It builds the fast websites and it is a responsive site with a Bootstrap. So it is a Bootstrap thing. If I just click on to the documents here, so you can see it is a document of this Bootstrap. So what they are saying here is, if you want to use our framework, you need to copy the CSS and you need to copy the scripts. So let's see what is this CSS. If I just can see there is a href CSS link here. If I just copy this href, if I just copy this href, I'll just copy it and I'll just open into the new tab. You can see what is the thing is, you can see that is a CSS framework. I'll just someone joining. If I open the particular CDN of the Bootstrap, you can see the person who have developed this framework, they have written the n number of CSS things. So it makes the developer easy so that he cannot go deep into the CSS. Only if he knows the if he knows the particular HTML language, just he can go to this. Okay, just see if I just copy this code. So if you want to use the Bootstrap, you need to copy those. You need to copy this starter template, and you can start using. Suppose when you don't want to use your own CSS styles or your own JavaScript files, just you familiar with the HTML. When you know that one, it is good. You can start with this Bootstrap. Just use this Bootstrap. We have a number. Why I'm saying to use the Bootstrap? We have a number of components here. Suppose in your website you want to display a buttons. So you can see the Bootstrap is providing these types of buttons: primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, and light. So these buttons you can just use. If you want to use this one, just you need to copy this button and you need to paste into your HTML file. So once you paste that one, automatically the color will take as a blue, and the size of this one and padding, margin, everything will take automatically. So it is not automatically. So when we use a class is equal to button primary, if I just copy this class, if I come back and if I Control F and if I just say search is as a primary, you can see if I just search for the primary, they have defined the particular class colors. You can see the background and the table active is not background colors, and everything they have defined it over here. So that's all the CSS will be loaded from this particular CDN link that we are using. So for that purpose, the Bootstrap is saying us, when you want to get started with us, you need to use the CSS CDN so that the CSS, what are the stylings will be there that can be used. Okay, this is all. This is a CSS. This is a bootstrap. Let's come back again, and when I show the connections, we'll see how the things will work. Okay, so it's just for the theory purpose. And next, so once what is the React? React is also a framework, like it will be used for the front end. Once when we are using as a Node.js as a backend. So that time the React and bug will come into the picture. We'll see later on. So next, so website is consist of this all the, so what, when if you want to a website, these all the things needed as a backend. So first is a front end. So front end is nothing but just a designing. So once the designing is done, we need to have a backend so that we can store the details and all. So suppose if I just open a Airobotica website, yeah, obviously this is a front end. From the front end, we can achieve all the things over here. We can achieve everything in the front end thing. If I want to enroll, if I want something, why we need a backend? First of all, why we need a backend? So backend is nothing but suppose you want to get the data from the users. Okay, suppose in the Airobotica website we have a registration form for the internship enrollment. So this is a form. Obviously, this is a form. This can be achieved by using a front end. By using a front end, by using these three technologies: JS, HTML, CSS. By using only these technologies, you can just create this particular form. I'll just close this one, extra tabs. So by using this HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, by using these three things, you can achieve this type of form. You can just create these types of form. You can achieve these types of form. Suppose person wants to enter the details and we need to store the details into our backend. When we need to store the details into our database. At that time, the backend comes into the picture. At that time, the backend will come into the picture. We need to have any of the backend language that can accept the input from the user and store all the details into the database. For that particular things, first we need to create a backend. We need to connect with our database. We need to create a tables. Then we can just let the user to fill the form, and we can just get the details into our backend. So at that time, the backend comes into the picture. So front end is common for each and everyone. Front end is common for each and every person. So if the website is there, obviously there will be the front end. For front end, HTML is 100%. You need to use a HTML, and CS is also required for the creating a website. Without CSS, you cannot achieve a good website. If I just remove the website, I'll just show you the example how the CSS will, without CSS, how the website will work. I'll just show you the example. I'll just create a new folder over here. I'll just tell AAA. So I'll just open this into my Visual Studio Code. So this is my editor, so that I can write my code and I can just run the particular code into my localhost server. I'll just create one HTML file. I will just tell index.html, index.html file. So I have created an index.html file. Now, simply I'll just go to the Bootstrap. So before we have just saw the Bootstrap, right? I'll just go to the Bootstrap over here. So I said when we want to use the Bootstrap, we need to copy this starter template. It is mandatory. So I'll just copy the starter template as it is. I don't do anything. I won't change anything. Just copy and paste it. Once I'll just save it, I'll just save this particular file. For better understanding, I'll just get the components. I'll just click for the forms. I will just click for the form. So I'll just copy this form. I want a form. The label should display like this, and the input button should be like this. So what I'll do here is, so I'll tell you what is HTML. So you can see this HTML is a hypertext markup language. Take example of a human body itself. We have head and we have a body. So in the head, what all the things will be adding? So it is the doc type is nothing but which is a document type. Document type is a HTML, and HTML language we are using as an English. We have a header part where we can add the SEO tools over here. And we have a links. So if you have any external links, you can just connect with the external links over here. And we have a title. Title is nothing but a hello world. I'll show where it will show. And we have a body. So I'll just tell what is the title and what is the body. Suppose if I just open, this is a website. So this is a website, right? So what is the title? You can see the registration. You can see the registration is our title. So whatever you specify into the title, it will become over here as a registration. And what all the things you are seeing here, Airobotica navbar, and this is a form. So that if you want to achieve that thing, you need to put inside your body. So what are the things you will be adding inside the body, it will display over here. What are the things you are adding inside the title, it will be displaying over here. Okay, so I just said I want to get this one. I'll just copy this one and I'll just remove this hello world. I'll just paste it. I don't do anything, I'll just paste it. Now I want to open this HTML file. So I'll be getting an option as a live server, open with live server. So for some reason it is not showing me over here. So it's fine. I'll open from the folder itself. I'll just open this one. I'll just open this one. So I can see if I just open the a.html file, I'm getting a email address. I'm getting a, if I just click on to here, I'm getting a border as a blue color, and automatically I am getting a submit button over here, which is in our blue color. Suppose I want to get another components. So I'll just copy the buttons. I'll just copy all the buttons from here. I'll just copy all the buttons. I'll just paste it after the form. I'll just paste it over here. I'll just say, if I refresh the same form, so it is just giving me the one more time. Okay, it has copied. It has not copied actually. So I'll just go back. So I'll just copy again, copy it, and I'll just paste after the form. You can see I have pasted all the buttons over here. Now come back to the page. If I refresh, so I can say I'm getting a buttons. I'm getting all the colors, even though I have not said my form will be like this, the size will be there, and the primary button will be blue color. I have not said anywhere. So how it is getting to know, because of this particular CDN link. You can see Bootstrap CSS link. There is a link which is loading externally. From here, it is taking the class button success. So wherever the button success comes, it should take a green color. So that is coming by using here. Suppose if I just remove this one, I'll just remove this link, and even though I will just remove the scripts also. So I will remove all the scripts from here. I'll just save it now. So you can see if I just press Ctrl S, the HTML file has been saved. So without CSS, without these CDN links, if I refresh the page, you can see I'm getting an email address, I'm getting a password, I'm getting a button. Each and everything is getting perfectly, but I am not getting the CSS. You can see without applying the CSS, how the website will work. It is looking ugly, right? It is just looking ugly. So to make our website beautiful, we'll be using a CSS. So if you know CSS, you can externally define the CSS for this button by extracting that particular class. If you don't know CSS, just simply we can just use this Bootstrap community and just get the starter template from here. So we have all the things in the Bootstrap to build a website. What are the requirements needed? That all the requirements is present inside this framework, that is Bootstrap. So by using this Bootstrap, we can achieve the good frameworks. That is what I mean to say. So I'll just close this one. I'll just close the Visual Studio. Just for the example, I have said you. And next, so this is over the front end. I said you, front end is nothing but just to achieve the front end part. So just for the designing and what are the layouts should be there, how to build the structure. For that purpose, the front end comes into the picture. And next comes to the back end. So back end is nothing but, I said you, to store the data, to store the particular data. Suppose if I want to store the data from the, suppose in my website I need, if my client says, so prepare me a website, prepare me a blog where user can see my website, along with saying he need to each and every user can do login, do sign up, and I want to give the particular users login access so that they can post any pictures into the anything, whatever the blog is there, they can post. So once they post, that thing should display into our database. Suppose if I just click here the internship courses, so if I just open these courses, it is not loading from the front end. Obviously it is loading from the front end, but I have not defined in my HTML file. So whatever the thing is loading here, and what are the pictures and what are the thing is just coming here, it is coming from the back end. From the back end, it is just coming to the front end. Then front end is displayed over in our website. So each and every website, so there are two types of website. So one is static website and one is dynamic website. So static website is something without any backend technology, you can create a static website. What I mean to say here is without any backend technology. If I just open one website, if I just open this website, so you can see it is not a, I have not connected, it is a simple website. So it has been done by using a HTML and CSS. If I just show you the code, if I just show you the code, you can see all the front end part is displayed. Even if you want to CSS, if I just click here, you can see css file is been there. If you just copy and if you paste it and if you run in your laptop, you will be getting same as it is, but the pictures won't be coming in because it is in my, I have saved into the server. So it is example of a static website. Suppose if I want to enter some name and email at gmail.com, I'll just tell phone number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. If I just say like that, so you can say I don't have a submit button also over here. So even if it's there, if I just submit it, we cannot access any data into any backend technology because we have not used any backend technology. If I just click onto the search also, you can see even if I just click onto this, nothing is working here. Even if I click onto the about, it is not going to the about page. It is in the same page. Even if I click onto the blog, even it is in the same page. So what is, so it is a static website. Static website in the sense, suppose any clients will be there. So what they will be telling means, I want a website. Later on, I won't change anything. Whatever the data will be there, so that will be the final data. I won't change anything into my website. So just I want the pictures of mine into my website, and whatever the content I will be giving you, just add into the website. And later on, I don't want any sign up page. I don't want any login page, and I don't want to take any data from the users. So just I want to display my particular shop or anything like a site. So for that, for those types of people, what we want, we'll be going with the static website. So static website in the sense, just we'll create HTML, we'll do the CSS in the HTML file itself. We'll add all the images, whatever the requirements of the clients, whatever the client's requirements will be there. So that thing, all the things will be adding it into the HTML file and just will host it. So later on, no one can do sign up, no one can add anything. Now that's it. So whatever will be the hosted, that will be the final website. For those types of people, will be going with the technology as a, will be using the method static website. Okay, for those people will be using a static website. Suppose, so this comes into the static website picture. So next comes to the dynamic websites. So dynamic websites in the sense, same as it is as a static, but in the dynamic websites will be having connect, we will be, the website will be connected with any of the backend technology. Either the backend will be connected with the Python, or it might be connected with the JavaScript, or it might be connected with any of the PHP language. So these are all the technologies. And so any of the backend technologies. So backend technology, we have a number of backend technologies. So where we can connect our database and all. So first things, the, if I just tell, so backend technologies, we have a number of backend technologies. So first one is a Python Flask. So in the Python, suppose if you don't know what is Python, so Python is also a programming language. So it is a famous language, each and every one person know. So where we can achieve websites, we can develop the softwares, we can use Python into the machine learning, we can use Python into the data science, in IoT, each and every platform we can use the Python. So it is day by day, this particular Python is developing more and more day by day. So in the Python, for the only for the website, for the full stack, so what are the frameworks available? So top framework is Python Django. So Django is the #1 framework in the Python language, where we can use a Django. So we can host, we can create a website, we can connect to the backend, we can store the data into very scalable manner. So a number of functionalities will provide by the Python Django framework. Hello. Please mute it. Okay. So Python Django is a one framework. So it is a framework where we can connect our front end and we can connect with our database, and we can just host a website. So next comes under the Python Flask. Even a Flask is also a framework of a Python. We can use a Flask, and either though we can use a Django or a Flask, so that we can just connect with our website, where we can store the data of the users, or we can just show our data into our website dynamically, so that we can use. And next comes under the Node.js. So Python, this Flask and Django is completely the what is the language used by the Flask and Django. So it will be using a language Python. So Python is really very easy to use, and just in 2 or 3 days you can just learn Python. So we can just use the Python language to develop our Flask website and a Django websites. Next comes, if you want to develop a website by using a Node.js, in the Node.js and by Node.js, the backend language will be using this JavaScript. So JavaScript will be the language for the Node.js technology. So we can just Even Node.js is also a very famous technology where a number of website like 70 to 80% website has been developed by using JavaScript itself. So Node.js, in the Node.js, there are a number of technologies will be having MongoDB and will be connected with the Express, React, and all. So it comes under in the Node.js. And next is the PHP. So nowadays, people will tell PHP is outdated and all. So learning PHP is a waste of time. That is impossible. No language has any outdated time. So each and every language has its own personal development, have its own, so have its particular own scope. Each and every language has the own scope. The people will say it has no, it has outdated, so you need to stop PHP. That is not the way. So what is my suggestion? If you want to develop, if you want to become a full stack web developer, front end technology is mandatory. HTML, JS, and CSS is mandatory to learn. Then comes under the back end. First, you can start with any. If I just suggest you can start with the Python Flask framework. It is a very easiest thing, and even you can start with the Python Django also. Even it is also easy, and even so one by one. If you have learned the Python Plus, you can just go with the Django. After you have learned Django, you can go with the Node.js, then PHP, like that. So it is not mandatory. These all the languages you need to know. Okay, if you know, so HTML, CSS, JS is mandatory for the front end. For the back end, any one technology, if you are familiar with and good at any one of the technology, so you will be a full stack web developer. Okay, it is not mandatory. You need to learn all the things. If you learn all the things, it will be good for you. So any of from here, so if you want to become a full stack, you need to grasp knowledge in any of the framework. Okay, it might be Django, it might be Flask, it might be Node.js, it might be PHP. It's come to your wish. Okay, these all the technologies are available. And next comes another marketing. So after the front end back end, I will tell you about the database. So backend is nothing but it allows users, it just connects our front end with our database. So it is act like a middleware. Backend is nothing like it like a middleware. It is just get the values and it will pass the values into our database. Suppose it is my internship page. If I just click on to the enroll now, so what is the use of the backend? Suppose if I enter all the details over here, if I click on to the enroll, if I just click on to the enroll button, so what I want here is I want to store the data into my database, right? So at that time backend comes into the picture. What backend will do here, whatever the data, whatever the details I have added here, if I just click on to the, if I just submit this form, it will securely, it will take that data and it will go, it will just see the database table. It will see the database table. So suppose already it will mandatory, if we have a form, we'll be having a database table for that particular form. It will tell, so these all the data I am collecting from the front end, store this data into our into the database table. Suppose we have a table registration, store the data from the front end to the registration table. So that who will do that particular thing? That thing will be do by our backend. So it will just get the data and it will just post that particular data into our database. So database can be any of the databases. It might be a MongoDB. So MongoDB is highly used in our Node.js, like in the Munch stack. So MongoDB will come into the picture over there. And suppose if you want to have a Python Flask or a Python Django, we can store that particular data into any of the technology, any of the database. So we can use into the MySQL. We can just store the data into the MySQL. We can just store the data into the SQLite 3 and or a Postgres SQL. So Postgres SQL is very highly used by our Python Django, and Python and Node.js and Express will be highly used into our MongoDB and Python Flask. So this can be used into MySQLite 3 or a MySQL. These are all the database. So these all of our database. This is a MongoDB and SQLite. This is all the database. So you need to no need to know what is how the database is queries work. If the SQLs work, they'll have a queries. But when we use our front end, back end, and when we completely we develop a website, you need to not be familiar with the queries, how the queries will work, nothing like that. Just what we need to do. Each and every languages, each and every frameworks will have a documentation. So they will be telling us how you can store the data. Suppose if I submit this form, how I can store the data into my database, such as suppose in my SQLite 3 or my SQL, how I can store. So that thing will be provided into the documentation. Just you need to see, you need to see how to you need to pass the values, how you need to insert the query over there. So if you don't know, you can just go into the documentation. You can just copy the code from there, just 1 or 2 lines. Just you can just pass the values, whatever you are getting from the front end, to the database. So this is how the website will work. So this is a website, this is a front end part, and if you have any forms, if you want to display anything from the database, that things comes under the picture into the back end and our database. So this is all the back end technologies, these are all the front end technologies and databases we have an, apart from this we have a number. So what are the important which is going currently into the live world, so that I have added. So just for that I have prepared a roadmap for the website. So once the development is done, suppose I have done this particular website, now comes under to the hosting part. Okay, now comes under where I need to host it, where I need to host it. So that things comes into our hosting part. So it is a domain. Domain is nothing but a name. So you are a person, each and every person have their own name. Suppose my name is Anis, so your name may be Harshit, like that. So that is also our domain. So that domains will be buying from the, this is all the GoDaddy is a platform hosting we have and any other platform to just give a name, just to host a name. So each and every website will be hosted into the IP address, not into the domain name. Just we are adding that IP address. We are just connecting that IP address to our domain name, whichever we are buying it. Suppose we are using a domain name airobotica.in. So this is, we have a separate IP address for it. We have a separate IP address for it. If I just open that particular IP address, it will just open this website too. But I don't, it is not good way to just send the IP address for the users. So for that purpose, we'll be using a domain like airobotica.in or anything like that, hudastone.com, like that. So for that purpose, we need a hosting plug. This is a GoDaddy, like we'll be buying the domain from there. And we have a hosting platform. So hosting is completely different from the domain. Domain is nothing but just the names which we are getting it and comes under the hosting. So hosting is nothing but we have a dedicated shared hosting, we have dedicated hosting, we have VPS hosting. So in the hosting is nothing but, suppose we have a website, we have a, in the hosting we'll just host our website, complete website will be hosting it. We'll transfer all the files, we'll transfer the backend, we'll install the backend into our hosting servers, we'll install the database into our servers. So that whole things will be done into the website inside the hosting part. So that's comes into the another picture. We have a VPS hosting. In the VPS hosting, we'll have Apache 2 servers and Nginx servers. So this is it will be heavy if I just to go into the depth into it. Just think, we have a domain and we have a hosting. Domain just is nothing but a name, whichever the website name, and hosting is nothing but where our website project will be hosted. You need to understand only that thing for now. Okay, have you understood how the front end parts will work? So do you got any idea how the front end will work and how the back end, and what is back end and what is database? Don't think about domain hosting and marketing. Let it be second. I will discuss later. So for now, what is front end, what is back end, and what is database, and how the website will work? Do you got any idea? Okay, Nandini, only these three people I have got: Anmol, Nandini, Mustafa. Okay. So if you permit me, I can just tell you. I'll just tell how the website, how to create a website. Small website, just will display hello world or anything like that. Okay, fine. Shall I start? So what I'll do here is, first I will tell, so as I said you, we have a backend language, we have a backend technologies. So front end is mandatory, HTML will be using. For now, I won't use anything. I'll just use a bootstrap. So if I use a bootstrap, this all the things will cover into the front end. Okay. Now, and I want to tell you how the Flask website will render. I'll just start with a Flask. Okay, I'll just start with a Flask, and then I'll start with the Python Django. We'll just display any of the navbar. Like if you want to just, if I just open a link, I want to display like this, something like that. Hello world or like any of a form like that, anything, just will display like that. So I'll just tell you what is the purpose of doing like that. Each and every website has their own syntax. Each and every framework has their own syntax. If you want to develop a website by using those frameworks, you need to follow up that particular syntax itself. Okay, for that purpose, you need to understand what is Python Flask, what is Node.js. I'll just if time permits, I can just cover up all the 4 languages. I will use all the 4 languages into the different folders. Let's render the website by using those languages. Okay. You need to start learning from the back end and then learn from the front end, right? So it is not mandatory you need to learn first back end, then front end. You can start with the front end and later on you can learn back end also. It is not like that. Okay. Fine. Let's start. Now I'll just close all the things. Now I'll I'll just create a new folders over here. I'll just create a new folders. I'll just tell I want to develop a website by using Flask. So this is a framework, that is a Python framework. When I want one more website, I want to develop by using Django. I'll just tell Python Django. Python Django. So this is one folder. Then I want to develop website by using Node.js. Node.js web. So these are three websites. So I have created it to three folders, and I'll just show you how to render the websites. So if I go with the first I will start with the Flask. So let's display hello world or like that. So if you want to do that one, first we need to have it. So basically Flask is a framework that is completely depend on the Python language. So before starting with here, what you need to do here is you need to download a Python language. I'll just tell download Python. Python you need to download. So just see the compatible version of your system. You can just download the Python over here. So at the time of downloading, I'll just tell you one thing. The download Python. At the time of downloading, after download, so after download, just normal installations will be there. Just you need to click next, 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 and install. At that time, if I just click on the images, so Python download path image. So if I just click on the images, okay, this is what I wanted to say you. So if I just see here, okay, fine. I'll just tell you here. So at the time of installation, you will be getting this type of page. Either it might be 64-bit, either it might be 32-bit. You can install the latest version 3.9, 3.8 or 3.9. It's your wish. So each and everything it will work. At the time of installation, what you need to do here is, you can see a button over here, add Python 3.6 to the path. You need to enable this checkbox. Then you need to click onto the install now button. At that time you need to install. If you just skip this particular step, you may get the errors I am telling right now itself. Where at the time of installation, you will be getting this type of page in your laptop. At that time, click onto the add Python 3.6 to the path, then click onto the install now button. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to say. So once the Python is installed, so only for the Flask and Django, we need to install the Python into our laptops. And next, to write a code, we need to have an editor, right? We need to have an editor. Suppose if you want to write any important notes, what you will do? You will just open a notepad and just you will write the code, whatever you want, you can just write into the notepad. Even you can write the code into the notepad. But writing in the notepad is very difficult. We won't be getting any things like if you want to feel when we are typing, we need to get feel. Yeah, we are typing, we are just coding it because we are coders, right? So for that purpose, we need, what I'll be using here is, I'll be using a Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is not any programming language. It is not like any big thing over here. It is like same like a notepad itself, but additional to it, we have it will give the highlightings to us. It will give the terminal facilities, and it will give the module installations things. It allows us to run the servers and much more things it will give for us. For that purpose, I'll be using a Visual Studio Code. I'll just close this one. So how to install the Visual Code? Simply just tell VS Code install. VS Code install. Click onto the download Visual Studio Code. If I just click onto this link, so you can see we have a for the Windows, we have for the Linux, we have for the Mac. So whichever you are comfortable, just download it and normal installations. Okay. If you see any YouTube video, you will be able to see how to install and all. So it is very easy. Just download and click onto the next and install. So once you have installed, I can just I want to write a code inside my Visual Studio Code. So what I'll do here is I'll just click onto here. I'll just right click and open with the code. Either though you can just open here. Even I can just drag and drop it. So if you can see if I open Visual Studio Code, it is giving me like a welcome page over here. If I open, it is nothing over here. Even I can open folder from here itself by clicking open folder. I can just open it. I'll just tell. So it is inside my desktop. So I have a folder Flask. I want to open it. I'll just select it. I'll just select the folder. If I just select the folder, you can see the particular folder has been opened inside my page. This particular thing. So after installation of the Python, check whether the Python is working or not. I'll just open the command prompt over here. I'll just tell Python. You can see it is working. So it is telling me a Python 3.8.2. I have the version, latest version only, 64-bit. It is just telling me. So just see whether it is showing or not. So once it is done, I'll just Control Z. I'll just come out from the terminal. If I just click onto the pip. So pip, what is pip? Pip is like a library which allows which allows us to download libraries, modules, and all. So this is very important. When you enter a pip and enter into the command, these all the things should show. It should show all this particular stuff. Okay. If you are getting an error like pip is not in, it may get you the error like it is not recognized as an internal or external command. So at that time, just go into the YouTube, just search the Python. Just you can search with that particular error. Obviously, you'll be getting one video of 4 to 3 minutes. Just you can resolve it by your own. Okay. So before starting with the code, just check whether this Python and this pip is working or not. So if you have done the perfect installation, you won't be getting any errors. Okay. If you get any errors, no need to worry. Just can just ping a message in the group. I'll just share you the video. You can just sort out that particular error. So once this all the thing is working fine, next what you need to do here is, okay, so once it has done, you can see this is our Visual Studio Code, and I'll just click onto the, if I just press Control and backtick, my terminal will open, or else you can see here terminal. So I'll just click onto the new terminal over here. So I can see my terminal is giving. This particular terminal is equal to this command prompt terminal. This particular terminal is equal to this particular terminal. Okay. So it is, so this is because of this, we will be using Visual Studio Code. We can edit the code into very beautiful manner, and all the things we can just do. So you can just see here, if I just click button here, we have a number of things. Just install HTML from here. If I just, you can see, if I just click onto the HTML, I can install the HTML stuff here. I can install the HTML snippets. Already I have installed. If you have not installed, you'll be getting an install now button here. You can install it. So these are all the suggestions for us. So we can just download, and if you want to any extensions, if you want any extensions, you can download from here. I'll just click onto this. I'll just click onto this. I'll be open now. Now, so 1 second. Now, Flask is nothing but a Python module, right? So we need to install Flask first. First of all, if you want to go with the Flask, I need to install the Flask. So I'll tell pip install Flask. There is a command. If you want to install if you want to use this Flask module, I need to install the module Flask before using it. So it is telling me requirement already satisfied because I have already downloaded. So in your case, it might install the Flask and automatically it will save into back processing. It will just save it. So first we need to do install Flask to go with the Flask. So once the installation is done, so just I will create a file. I will create a Python file. I'll just name it as main.py file. I'll just name my main.py file. Once I create a main.py file, now what is my main aim here is, I want to render a HTML file showing hello, welcome to the Flask website. I want to show something into my website page. So for that, I'll just create a folder. I'll just click on, see, first one is used to create a new file. Second one is used to create a new folder. I'll create a new folder. I will create a folder name as a templates, templates, templates. So it is a templates folder. So what I am doing here is, whatever my backend file is there, that will be completely, it will be in the main.py file. And suppose I might have a number of HTML files. I may have index.html, about.html file, contact.html file. I can have a number of HTML files. So I cannot write all the HTML files like it. It will look ugly. So what I am doing here is, I am maintaining all my HTML files inside a folder by name templates. I'm just storing all the files inside it folder by name it as a templates. So I'll just click on to the, so inside my templates file, I'll tell home.html or I'll just tell index.html file. I'll tell I have a index.html file. So let it, I'll just, now I'll add a HTML code now. So I'll add a HTML code. I'll tell HTML, or else simply you can just click on to the exclamatory and just press shift and 1 for the exclamatory symbol and enter. So if I just do like this, you can say I'm getting a boiler template. So better than this, what I will be doing here is I'll get the bootstrap. I said you before, I'll use the bootstrap. So I'll just go to the getbootstrap.com and I'll just go to the starter template. You can see that I'm having a starter template over here. I'll just copy this one and I'll just paste it over here. I'll just save it. I will tell, so okay, my what should be the title name? I'll just tell Flask website. Flask website homepage. I'm just telling like this is my Flask website homepage. And what should display over here? I'll just tell I want to display the Flask website like that. So what I'll do here is I will better than this, I'll be using one alert buttons here. I have a if I just click on the components, I have something like this, right? I'll just use this one. I'll just copy one div tag. I'll just tell one div tag, copy. I'll just paste it over here. So it will be the class. Automatically the class will be getting from the CDN links. So I'll tell here. So this is welcome to our, I'll tell welcome to our Flask website. I'm just telling welcome to our Flaps. I'll just welcome to my Flask website. So I want to display welcome to my Flask website inside my index.html page. So inside means when I run the server, I need to display something. I need to get like welcome to my Flask website. I'll just save it. Now I have written. Now my main aim is to render the HTML file. I want to render the home page by telling welcome to my Flask website. How that can be done? Now I need to write a custom backend from my side. So first I will tell I have installed the Flask, right? So I need to import it. I'll just tell from Flask import. I want to import the Flask. I'll just import this particular Flask. So I have imported the Flask. Now I can use the Flask syntax how to render our HTML files. So I'll tell I want to make local server to true. So if I open this website, it is working. It is coming from some other servers. Even this also coming from some other servers and all, right? Even this Bootstrap is coming from the Bootstrap server. Now we don't have domain. We don't have any domain and we don't have any hosting. So there are two types of things. One is a development server, and then second one will be the production server. So these all the websites is coming from the production servers. So now what I am typing, I want to display my output in my development server. So my development server is nothing but my local host. So you are familiar with the local host 127.0.0. That will be my local host. So that is each and every computer will have that particular local host server. So where you can develop your website, where you can see the outputs into your laptops. So what I'll tell here is my local server, I'll just make it as a true. I'll just tell local server to true. I am just enabling the local server to true. Now I will initialize my app. So I'll just tell this is so. And one more thing I forgot to say, this Python Flask, Node and Django, it acts like a web application. Okay, I'm telling web application. It acts like a web application. PHP is not an application. It's just a normal thing. So it acts like a web application. At the time of a hosting also, will be hosting as an application, like a same as it like a mobile apps. So that thing acts like an application. Okay, there are two things into our creating a website backend. One thing will be the project. One thing will be the application. So this the whatever the project we are creating, that is a project, and what is our application? So our application backend is a Flask in this particular case. When we are doing with the Django, at that time my backend application will be Django. When I'm doing with the Node.js, that time my backend application will be my Node.js thing. Okay, so that things comes now. So this is our application. I need to initialize my Flask application. So how I can tell? I'll just tell whatever the module I have imported, Flask. I have imported a model Flask, right? From Flask, I have imported this Flask. I will initialize it. I'll just initialize this particular name. I'll just initialize the name. Now I have initialized the name. Next, now I want to route it. So I need to route my this particular application to index.html file. So how to route it? So it's simple. I'll just tell at app dot route. So I'll tell whenever my slash is nothing but 127.0.0.1, that will be nothing over slash. So I'll just tell you after this one. So I want to route it to the slash page. So I'll create a function now. So if you are familiar with the Python, we'll be creating a functions by using a keyword def. So even that particular where that particular def will be used into the real world technology. So when we are creating a website, to render the pages, that keywords comes into the picture. We need to run the functions. So this is how we run the functions over here. I just tell I want to create an index function. So each and every function will return something, right? So even in our colleges, what thought the all functions will return something. So any output it will return. In this case, I need to return it to the render, whatever the output is there. I want to render that output to my index.html file. So I'll tell. So before import, I need to import the render template module so that I can import it. Once I enter it, you can see I'm getting an indentation space. The 4 space is nothing but our indentation space. You need to be careful over that. I'll just tell return render template. I want to return it to my index.html page. I'll just tell index.html page. So obviously, whatever how the function will work, whenever it is a slash, whenever is a request for a slash page, it will return to the index.html page. Now I need to run this application. I need to run this application, right? So I'll just tell simply, I have initialized my Flask app. I'll tell app dot run. I'll make debug to true. Once I make this one, a particular application will run. Now I'll just save each and everything. I'll just save it. Now if I can see a run button over here, or else if you not got that particular one, you can just start from here, debug. Okay, I'll just click onto this button. Once I click onto this button, you can see I got an output here. Your environmental production, it is just a development server. So debug mode is on, restarting you can active. So even if I just change anything and if I just press Ctrl S, it will automatically restart. And it has been given me the development running. So it is telling me your application is running into the local host. The local host is nothing but 127.0.01 and port number it is taking as 5000. Okay. So same way, Airobotica website also. At that time, the IP address will be something like 128.95.65. That will be the IP address. For local host IP address is same for each and every one. That is HTTP 127.0.0.1. Now, if I just press Control and click over this, if I just click onto the control and click to the link, you can see I'm getting a stuff like welcome to my Flask website. So I can say I'm getting a welcome to my Flask website as my output. Okay, this is how you can render the output to over here. Suppose you have a number of pages. If I just go to this Airobotica website, if I just open the website, I'm getting like this. So same website, if you host it, suppose you have a domain codingthunder.com. If you want to host a codingthunder.com that domain, you need to host this one. When you click onto the codingthunder.com, you will be displaying this particular page. Same way for here also, we have defined some other own customized code that is displaying over. Suppose if I want to go to the contact page, so I am getting a /contact, right? You can see airobotica.in/contact. Now suppose I want to render to the different pages. So how it will be there? So obviously it will be a /contact. /contact. If I just click onto the /contact, you can see it is telling me the request for the server is not found. Please see what is the error you have. So obviously we have not defined the particular stuff yet. So I'll tell again, same as it is. I will copy it. I'll just copy the same thing. I'll tell now, whenever you get a request for a /contact, whenever you get a request for a /contact, I need to run a contact function, and my HTML file I want to return is contact.html file. Okay. Now you can see I need to create a contact.html file. So obviously I'll create inside my template folder my name contact.html file. So whatever the stuff I have inside my index, I'll just copy inside my contact.html. I'll just do few modification. I'll just tell Flask website contact page. Okay, I'll just tell welcome to my Flask website. This is my contact page. Contact page. So I want this should become inside the yellow color or red color. I'll just tell for the red color we have a danger. So I'll just tell alert danger. Just save it. Once you save, refresh. So you can see I'm having a welcome to the Flask website. Now if I go to the /contact, so I can see I'm getting welcome to my Flask website. Here is a contact page. So this is how you can just render the website. I'll just do one thing. I'll just add one link tag. I'll just tell anchor tag. I'll just tell whenever anyone try to click onto the home page, it should go to the /, and whenever anyone try to click onto the contact page, so it should go to the /contact. If you go to the slash content, this thing I'll just add it into the index.html file also. I'll just add it over here. So just for example, I'm just saying here. Now if I refresh, you can see having a home and a content. It is an anchor tag. If I click onto the home page, it is going to the home page. If I click onto the content page, it is going to the slash content page. This is how you can render the outputs by using a Flask. I'm not telling you the database connection because it is a workshop. We cannot do it everything. So just I said you how the Flask website will work. So whatever the content is there, you can just add it like that in the HTML files. Whatever you want to display, you can just display it over here. Or if you are familiar with some basic knowledge with HTML, you can just do it like this. So got it? How to render the websites using a Flask? Okay, you can use the PyCharm as it is. So I will share the recording session. Got it? How the Flask website will work. So you can see home, contact, home, contact. I can same way if you want to have 100 pages also, you can just use this type of technology and you can just render the pages. Suppose if you want to for a about page, just you need to go to the main, create a route for that about, and just add a HTML file page for that particular page, for that particular route, and you can just render it like that. Okay, this is how the connection. This is how the connection from the just we are connecting our backend to the front end. Okay, so this is how the things will work by using a Flask. Got it? It's saying can we use the address other than a local host in the Flask? So you cannot use the addresses. Okay, addresses is something like if you have your own servers. Suppose you have a servers into any of the like hosting or digital oceans. If you have any servers, you can just pass those addresses. Okay, but here for this, when you are developing a website in the, so no one will go directly go into the development server. First, they will develop the website same as it is. Where they will develop inside the local host itself. Okay, so they will develop the website in the local host. Later on, it will be hosted into the IP address. So now for now, it is a 127.0.0.1. That is our local host. Okay, that is the thing. This is a port number. 5000 is our port number. Okay, so have you understood how the Flask thing will work? Okay, so what about others? Okay, so next which should be done? Shall we go with the Django or Node.js? It's your choice. So let's see how can we work with the Django in Node.js. Okay, so that thing we have done in the same way. Let's see the syntax, how the syntax is defined into that particular technologies. Let's see how the technologies have been used. I'll just cancel this one. I'll just close this folder now. The Flask has been done now. Let's go with the Python Django now. So this is a it is a little bit confusing. So just see how it will work. So I'll just open with the Visual Studio Code this particular server. I'll just click on to the terminal. I'll just open the terminal now. So here we need to same way, even the Django is also a framework in the Python where we can develop the website. Same how we did for the Flask, we need to do for the Django also. I'll just tell pip install Django. I'll just tell pip install Django. So once I install the Django, it is telling me requirement already satisfied. In my case, it has been downloaded. In your case, it will be downloading it. So once I do this one, I need in the Django, there are two things. One is a project and one is a application. We need to create a project and we need to create an application. We need to link that particular application to our project. Then we need to run our Django project. So to create a project, we have Django is very powerful. Okay, it's automatically it will generate the codes maximum. Like it tells like you just come with us. I'll do your half of the work ready, or take half 70% work ready. Just you just modify me however you will modify to me. I'll just work like that. So that is the saying of Django. So let's see how it will be working it. I'll just enter a command now. So to create a project, we have a command. So Django admin start project. So we need to give a project name. So I'm telling my Django to start the project. I'll give the project name as for now I'll just give a project itself. I want a project name as a project. I'm just giving a project itself. So it is just checking something. I'll just cancel it. So you can see once I run this particular command, once I have run this command, you can see in the left hand side, I got some thing. I got something like something happened once I run this particular command. I got something like I have created it has created a parent project and one child project. It has been created. We have a ISGI files, so you can see I have a settings.py files. If I just see the settings.py file, if I just close like this, you can see it has generated the code automatic. I have not written any piece of a code. I have just run this one command. These many files has been created. So this is a project files, that is a Python files. So you have a URLs here, so to render to which page I need to go, and we have a manage.py files. To run our project, we run this manage.py file. So in that, how we just click onto the run button. In this case, we cannot directly run this Python file. We need to run the manage.py file, then our project will work. So if I just see, if I'll just come inside my project, I'll just tell come inside my project, cd project. I'm just coming inside my project. Now I will run my manage.py file. To run a Django project, we have a command python manage.py run server. Once I run this particular command, you can see I got a development server. You can say I got a development server. It created me DB SQLite 3 automatic. It created a database to me, and it has been given me a development server like HTTP 127.0. If I just press Control and click to this link, you can see I am getting a page Django. The installed works successfully. Congratulations. So this is all the page will work for the Django. So this is a default page which it is giving for me. Suppose suppose if I want to get bootstrap pages, so like how in the Flask, how we rendered from home to contact, contact to home. If we want to do like that, so how we can do that one? For that, we need to create an application. We need to add the URLs path to it. So it's a default page to do it. Now, so my server is running. You can see my server is running over here. So our server is running now. Next, I said you, we have a project and we have an application. So I'll just open one more. Let our server be running in this terminal. I will open one more terminal command prompt. Now we'll tell. So fine. Now I'll first come inside my project. So I will come inside the project folder. Then I will create my application. This is the way. I'll just come cd project. So once you enter Django admin start project name, then you need to, whatever the name you will be giving there, you need to come inside the project. Then you need to create an application. So I'll tell here Python manage.py start my application by name app. So I'm just starting the application by using a app. So you can see the app folder has been created, and you can see a number of files has been created over here. So you can see here app has been created. I have admin.py file, I have an application, I have a models, I have a test, I have a views. So I will explain what is this. So what is our views.py file does here is it will just connect the particular URLs to our front end HTML pages. Suppose I have a contact form. If I just if I want to contact it, if I just enter any of the details and if I just click onto the submit button, so which file it will handle? Our views.py file will handle to collect the data from the form and give the particular data to our DB SQLite 3 to store the data into our SQLite 3 file. So that things will all our backend logic will be writing into our views.py file maximum. And test is nothing but if you have any test cases, we'll pass the test cases. What is models.py file? To save the details of whatever the details we are collecting from the users, if I want to save it, we need to have a tables. We need to have a tables into our database. We create a tables into our models.py file, and admin dot is used for to register it, and app is nothing but this is our configuration for this application. Now what I will do here is I will connect. I want to run. I will just create a template folder here, same as it is how I did into my Flask. I'll just create a template folder. You can see the structure where I am creating it. I'll just click onto this button. I'll just tell templates. So I have created a folder by naming it as a templates. I will just name index.html page, and I'll just copy the starter template from the Bootstrap. I'll just get a starter template. Where is my starter? Getting started. So I'll just copy the starter template. I'll just copy the starter template. I'll just paste it. So I'll tell this is my home page. I'll just tell welcome to my Django project. I'll just tell welcome to my Django project. I'll just give the title name as Django. Yes, I want to display this page. I want to render this page. So just see how many things we need to do. It is just a one-time setup. Okay. So just I'm explaining you that. So first of all, what I need to tell here is once the application and the project has been started, I need to tell my Django that I have created an application. Please initialize it. So I need to, so settings.py file is a father of Django. Okay. So whatever, if you go outside, you'll inform your father and you'll go outside, right? Or your mother. So it acts like father and mother, which is our father and mother is our settings.py file. We need to inform whatever we'll do, we need to inform it. So I'll just come back to my settings.py file. We have a, at the 39th line, at the 33th line, I have a installed apps. Here I need to specify my app. So I'll tell I have created a application by name app. So I'll just tell app and I'll put a comma. If you have given any name, if I given as Anis, so I have given the as a name, app name as Anis itself. So once you just do it like that. And next what I did, again I have created a template folder. Even I need to tell Django I have a template folders. Whenever you get a request, please look onto that. So at the 55th line, we have a templates here, and 58th line, we have a directory. So I'll just specify templates. I'll just put a comma. I'll just tell templates templates. Just save it. So template folder has been created. I'll just tell also whenever there is a request for the templates, it will just click onto the template folder. It will just go to the index.html file. So these two things you need to specify into the setting.py file, that is into our project. Then next comes to the urls.py file. Here I need to specify the path. I need to tell I don't want to display this particular page. I don't want to display this particular page whenever there is a request for. I don't want to display this particular page whenever there is a request for this particular URL. I want to display my own customized page. So that I am just specifying it. I'm just telling my Django project. So what I'll do here is I'll specify a path here. Specify the path. I will tell whenever so this single quotes is nothing but localhost IP address. Okay, 127.0.0. Wherever I specify just single quotes with nothing, that means you need to understand it is my localhost. So I'll tell include. I'll just import the include. I'll just tell whenever you get a request for the IP address, I need to include I need to send to my application. Whenever there is a request for localhost, I'll just send to my customized application which I have created. I'll just tell include my app. Go to my app dot urls.py file. I'm just telling go to my app.urls.py file. I think I need to just give app.urls. Go to my app URLs. So then you can see I don't have any urls.py file inside my application. So I'll just create a urls.py file by clicking onto the app. I'll just tell urls.py file. Okay, there is nothing inside my urls.py file. I'll come back here. I'll just copy all the stuff from here, and whatever the thing is, I'll just paste it over here. So I'll tell now what I need to do here is I need to send from urls.py file to views.py file. I need to send URL callback from here to views. Okay, so how that can be done? Before sending it, I need to import it. I'll tell from app import views. I want to import this views.py file because I'll just send a callback from URLs to views. So same as it is. I'll just tell URL pattern. I'll just tell a path. I'll tell whenever I get a request for the local host, go to my views. Go to my views dot. I'll just tell go to the views dot home page. I'll just name it as a home page, comma where my function name should be home. Okay, save it. Now I'll just go to how the Django will look. First, it will look onto this URL. So I have defined explicitly like whenever localhost comes, I need to include the app URLs. Django will jump from application to, it will jump from here to app URLs. It will go to the app. It will go to the URLs. Again, it will see the path. It will see, yeah, whenever I get this localhost IP address, I need to go to views.home where function name is home. So Django will jump from here to here. It will see where is the function for the home. So I need to create it. I'll just tell same def function I will use. I'll use a home function because I have given the function name as home. Same as it is, I'll give for the home. First argument it will take as a request or request and it will return it. I'll just tell return render. So first argument it will take request. Second argument is which HTML file you need to render. I'll tell go to the index.html page. I'll just tell index.html .html page. Just save it. Once I save, let's see the server what has been done. You can see something has been incorrect here. I'll just run the server again. I'll just tell python manage.py run server. If I enter it, you can see I have got the development server. If I just press control and link here, you can see I'm getting welcome to my Django project. This is how you can render when you want to develop a website by using a Django framework. This is the syntax whichever I have shown you. Suppose I want to have a about page now. Suppose I want to have a about page. I will just create an anchor tag here. I'll just tell slash about. So about about. So if I want to render to the about page, so if I have a number of page, you can see I'm getting an about. If I click onto the about, it is telling me what you are doing to me. It is telling me I have a admin URLs, I have a name, a home function URL. I don't have any about URL. Just create a function for the about. So let's create. So how to create another stuff? Let's see. So whenever if I want to click to the about, it will just go to the slash about. So Django, what Django will do, it will go to the application's URLs. It will search for that particular path. So there is no path for the about. I'll declare it now. I'll just tell whenever you get a request for the about, go to the views about page, go to the views function, about, where the function name should be about. So I need to put a comma over here. I'll just tell it is my about page, about. So same way I need to create. You can see once I just press Control S, I am getting an error here. No module in the app views, you don't have any attribute about. So obviously it is saying me you have declared a about URL route in my URLs, but you have not declared a function for it. So I need to declare a function. I'll just create a function one more. I'll just tell about and about.html. Whenever I get a request for the about, I need to return the about.html file. So obviously about.html files I need to. So I don't have about.html file. Let me see what I'll get. Now if I refresh, if I click on to the about, you can see I'm telling me some another error I'm getting it. What is this error? Template doesn't exist. About.html file. So I need to create the about.html where inside my templates folder. So I'll just create the folder about.html file, and whatever the stuff is there, I'll just copy from here to here, and I'll just tell this is my Django project about page. Just save it. So I'll just tell render back to the home page here. When I just click onto the home button, I need to have a path href as slash like that. So it should go to the slash. If I refresh, you can see I'm getting welcome to my Django project about page. If I click onto the home, it is giving me the home page. When I click onto the about, you can see the URL here above. It is just going a slash about. Same way how we have a slash contact, same way we are doing for the slash about. So this is how you can render the front. You can just connect your front end with our back end technology framework like this in this particular manner itself. Okay. What is the difference between URLs and views? So URLs is used to render the pages. Suppose all just will pass in the URLs, we don't add anything. Just we'll add like this pass. If you have 100 URLs, contact, register, something login, sign up, log out, the things will specify into the urls.py files. And in the views.py file, whatever the URLs you are rendering, whatever the URLs you have specified, those function you will run inside your views.py file like that. Got it? Yadvendra Yadav. Okay. Fine. So this is how we can render the outputs in the Flask. So as you know, we are doing the internships training. So I'll be the trainer for the full stack. So what I'll be using here is as a backend, I'll be using a Django itself. We'll create a website over there, completely dynamic website. At that time, I'll be teaching you from using this particular framework itself. So we'll see how to do sign up, how to do login, how to do contact page, how to render the poster from the database to the front end, how to render from the front end to how to store the data from the front end to the back end, and how to store that particular data into our database, and how to host our web application, how to create your own portfolio. The things, all the topics will be covered inside the 10 to 12 hours of training session into that particular full stack web development internship training. Okay, that at that time I'll be using as a backend as a this particular stuff itself. Okay, what is the pre-requirement for that? You need to know about Python little. little knowledge about the Python. If you just sit one day, 2 hours or 3 hours, so Python is very such a language. Just you can learn in 4 to 5 hours. You can just you can just learn each and every things into the Python. Even you can learn little advanced level too. Just what I want, what you want basic knowledge when you want to go with to this here is Django. You need to know what is functions, what is for loops, how the if statements will work, if statement, for loop, and what else, what are the or data types has been there, string, float, integer, and how to take the input from the user, and how to render the outputs out, what is class. Only this many requirements needed to go with this Django or a Flask. Only that is the Python basics. You can just go into the you can just brush up with the 2 or 3 days. Okay, that things, if you know that one, you can arams, you can just go with the Django. Okay, same here also we'll use if statement. I'll tell if the method request I got as a post, what I need to do, and I'll use if else statement, like if the already users is present, I need to tell user is already exist. The things all I'll be specifying inside my views. You can just learn how to add the things, where to add everything A to Z, you will be able to see it. Okay, got it guys? So it's the 7:20. It was, the session was about 1 hour. I have taken more than 1.5 hours. So if you permit, I can just go with the Node.js, or else we'll wind up the session. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Sorry.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Just I will take confirmation with our director. I can take or not. Just it can be done in 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Go ahead, the class.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'll just go it. So let's see. You saw how to render the website using Flask and Django. Let's do with the Node.js. 1 second. I'll just drink the water. Okay. So let's see how to go with our Node.js. So we have, I have two things. Normal Node.js I can just start with, or else I can start with Node.js with Express. Okay, shall I start using Node.js and Express.js?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I'll just tell how the even it will cover the stack line. You can just anyhow we are just rendering the front end, right? Fine. I'll just so this is our Python stack. I'll just close this particular folder now. Next comes to under Node.js web development. So I'll just open this folder inside my, even I can just right click and I can open it. Okay. Or else you can just directly drag that particular Node.js file into over here. Okay. So one thing I'll tell you, how how the developers will learn. So without what they know the already syntax, they don't know, even they don't know what, how they will learn here is each and every framework has the documentation. If I just tell Flash documentation, so you can see welcome to the Flash documentation. So if I open it, is telling me, so see I have all the stuff. If I want to start with the Flask, it is telling me how to start. If I just click on to the minimal application here, same I will open one more thing, Django documentation. So I can see they have said me, if you want to import a Flask, you need to add this code, you need to add this code, you need to just render the hello world. They have said how to, I have shown you how to render the HTML file, even they have said in the below. So here just they have said how to render it, same as it is in the Flask also. If I just go to the in the Django, if I just go to the Django, and if I go to the installation, so where is the installation? I can see somewhere like mm, how to installation Django. I will be having here itself somewhere. So okay, getting started. If I just click on the getting started, so each and every framework will have the documentation. You can just open this any of the content, you will be seeing same how to render, how I have shown the things will be shown. So this is the Django. If I just open the Node.js Express documentation, Node.js Express documentation. I just click on to here. Express Node.js the framework. I just see here. You can see it is telling me It is just getting started. If I click on the getting started, you can see what they are telling me. So they are telling me you need to create an app. You need to go first inside the app. Then you need to give npm in it, and you need to create the modules. Then you need to install the Express. Then you can go ahead with that one. So same way, same thing I'll be doing here now. So same, there is no any pre-request for the Node.js. Just if you have Visual Studio Code, you can just go with that one. I'll just press Control Backticks. I'll just open this one. So now if I want to go with the Node.js, I need to install. First of all, I need to create some of the. I need to install some stuffs. So what I'll do here is first I will initialize it. So to initialize it, I will be using npm. So how I was using in the Python, how the pip is there in the Node.js, we have a npm. So npm is nothing but a node package manager. So which allows us to install all the modules like that. So first I will initialize it. I'll just tell npm init npm init. So once I click onto the npm init, so it is telling me, okay, it is telling me package name. I'll just tell fine, let it be fine, version 1.0, fine, enter. I don't want any description. It is telling me entry point is index.js, enter. Test command it is telling, I'll just tell like that, I'll just click enter. So who is the author? I am the author. I'll just click like this, and I don't want anything. I'll just press enter anything. I'll just tell yes. So what it will do here is it will create one JSON file. So once I enter the npm init, so where is it? Once I enter the npm init, it asks me some of the inputs from the user. I have not given any of the stuff, just I given the author name. So what it does here is it created a package.json file. It has been created a package.json file. Node.js Web 1.0, anything. Now whatever the things is there, but if I install any modules, automatically it will encapsulate into this package.json file. So next command. So next command I will tell npm install. I want to install all the packages. I'll just tell npm install or npm I if you tell like that. So if I just click onto the npm install, you can see npm log json file also has been created. It has been installed the node.js node things, whatever the requirements it want, automatically it will fetch and it will install. Next, I want something like node. I have a module in the Node.js. We have nodemon. What nodemon does is, so whenever I just if I do any modifications in my code, if I just press Control S, automatically it will restart the servers. I want something like that, right? So I'll just tell npm. I'm telling my npm node package manager to install nodemon. Enter. If I just click on the npm install nodemon, you can see it is installing the nodemon inside our things. You can see it is just installing it. So when you are going with the Node.js, you need to be good at JavaScript, at least little basics knowledge. You can see once I done this one, Node.js, the nodemon has been installed. I'll show you. I'll just come back here. You can see in the name in the, if I just click on to the package.json, you can see nodemon has been installed 2.0.6. Same way, I need to install the, oh, sorry, I need to install the Express.js, right? So where is something happened, right? So, okay, fine, nothing. So I need to install the, I have installed the nodemon to restart the server. So I said I want to go node with Express. How to go with the Express? I'll install the Express.js. So I'll just tell npm install instll install what I need to Express. I need to install the Express. So once I want to save also. I'll just tell save it. So it is just telling me like this, npm installed Express. I'll just tell npm installed Express. It's giving me something an error. So something has happened before Node.js Web. So 1 second. So okay, fine. Just tell npm install. So if I install pug, let me see, it is going, okay, it is working. So I want to install the pug. Okay. So what is pug? Pug is like a HTML template. So, you know, in the Flash, I have shown you how to render the HTML. So pug is also like a HTML itself. Just we have some indentations over there. So that is simple. Okay. Same. So why you want to go to the HTML? I want to tell you about the pug. So I am using a install the pug. So once I have installed, you can see pug is also has been saved inside my package.json file. So here how to install the Express, I'll just copy from here, npm install Express, save, copy, right click. So it has not copied, I guess. So I want to install the Express. So in the documentation you can see, I'll just copy the here and I'll just save it. npm install express. Now express is installing. So these all the requirements to go with the node.js and express.js. So once it has been installed, you can see I have installed the node.js, I have installed the express, I have installed the nodemon. For the templates rendering, I have installed the pug. So here what I have said is, what is the entry point? Entry point is a index.javascript file. So I need to create an entry point now. So what I'll do here is, I'll just click on to the new file here itself. I'll just tell index.js. So I'm just telling index.js file. This is my JavaScript file. So I need to write a code for the I need to just write a code for here. So let's see how to do that one. And let me create a folders also. Let me create one template folder. templates templates. So inside my templates, I need to have what I need to have. I need to have the index.pug. I want index.pug file. So I need to, if I just press exclamatory and enter, you can see I'm getting a template as a pug. So you can see little syntax indentation is important inside this pug. I'll just change this title to home, and I'll just change this body. I want to add a I'll just tell I want a h1 tag. I'll just tell hello, welcome to node.js express.js website. Yes, I want to display this thing now. Now I need to run this index.js file. Now I need to add the code by using a JavaScript syntax. So how to add now? So I'll tell. So I'll just first whatever the modules I have installed, I'll just get first inside my thing. I'll just tell const. I'll just tell const express. I'll just tell const express. I want to have, I'll just, what are the require? So sorry, or require. So I want to require the express over here. I'll just tell express. So express has been imported in this file. Then I need to install the path, so that I'll specify, I can just render to the particular path. So as it is, I'll tell require. I want to require the path to it. Then next, I need to configure my express. So I'll just tell my const for the application, just configure it. So I'll just tell express. I want to run this express thing. So I am just configuring the application as express, and I want to run this project in which port number. That also I need to define it over here. I'll just tell const port number. So I'll just run this thing inside my port number 8000. Okay. So give the semicolons over everywhere. It is a good habit. Save it. In the Python, we don't have any semicolons like that. So I have said like I am just requiring the express, I'm requiring the path. Then I have defined, I have a configuration of the application. Then I have added the port number. Now I need to serve the files. So what is the serve? What I need to serve the files? I am telling I have created a template folder. I need to serve this template folder inside my app.js. I need to tell my index.js like I have a files. You can just use those files like whatever. If you get a request, you need to use those files. So that is nothing but I'm just serving a template engine. So I'm just serving a templates engine. So what are the engines? Like my pucks. I'll just tell. So I'll just put a comment. Control slash is a comment. I'll just tell serving my template engine waves. I'm just setting. I'm just doing this one. Now I need to tell. I need to set it, right? I'll just tell app.set whatever the application of the node.js. I'm just setting it. So I'm telling like we have a syntax like a view engine, wave engine. So obviously what is the type of my files is my template files is a pug. So I'm just telling pug pug here. So this is I'm just setting my template folder. So once I have set this one, I need to attach the particular templates directory also. So I'm just telling like set the views. So I'll just tell something like setting my views directory. I'm just setting my views directory. I'll just tell app.set for the views. I want to add the path. I need to join my path. I'll just tell I think path dot join. What I need to join? I need to join the directory name to So what I have given name as a template. So same as it is name, I'll give here also. I'll just tell TEMPLATES templates. So once it has been done, so that is nothing but here the views is equal to templates. Okay, my views is equal to. I will just tell also. I'll just tell views is nothing but my templates directory. Okay, views is nothing but my template directory. I'll just tell nothing. Okay, views is nothing but my templates directory. I'm just setting a path to it. So once I do this one, I need to write the functions. So in the Python, we are using a def function, def. Here we need to use a get or a post request. So for now, I am just getting a get request. So I'll just tell app.get request. I'll be getting a get request. If I get a get request, suppose if I guess for a slash index, suppose I am just using a slash index. Whenever there is a function call for this, I need to run the function. I'll just tell I need to run the function. First argument it will take a request. Second argument it will take a response. So then I want to run the status code res dot status code. So status code is nothing but 404 is for the not phone, 200 is for okay. So this thing you need to know, and 400 400 is not phone, and 400 is 402 is something we have something errors not page found, like files not file. For that particular thing we have each and every not found, we have the status code. 200 is status code is for the okay, when everything is perfect. I need to render when everything is perfect. When the status code is 200, I want to render to index.html page, right? I'll just tell render to the index page. I'll just tell render to the index. So it will just automatically it will look for the directory templates and it will render this index.puck file over here. So this is the function calls will work. Same way, if okay, let me run. First of all, I'll just run this much. Then next, I need to tell my, like I need to configure this port number. On which port number I need to run the file. I'll just tell app dot I'll just make the listen. I'll just make listen. I'll tell port. So port is nothing but PORT. Sorry, PORT. When I'm using a port, automatically it will take as a 800 as a starting development. So I'll just put a comma. I'll tell whenever there is a function call for this. Whenever I get a function call for this, so this is how we specify into the Node.js. Something I want to print it in my console log. I'll just tell console.log. I'll just tell something like app started perfect. I'll just tell something like app started perfectly. I'm just telling app started perfect like that. Okay, just save it. Let's see if we have any errors. We'll be able to see. Okay, so I have defined the only for the slash index page. I'm just declaring like this. Now I need to run this index.js file. You notice we have installed a nodeman by using a nodeman. Where is the nodeman? You can see nodeman. I have using a nodeman. I'll use this nodeman. I'll just tell come back my nodeman. So I am getting work for you. I'm just telling nodeman start app not, it is an index, right? Index.js file. I'll just enter this one. I'm just telling my node.js to run this particular file. So I can see I have not got any error inside my index.js file. Everything is working. It is telling me your app is started perfectly. Let me see it is working or not. I just go back to the localhost /index. So you can see I'm getting a output. Hello, welcome to the Node.js Express.js website. Why I'm giving a /index? Because I have given here as a, you can see I have given here as a /index. When the status code is 200, I need to render the index.pug. Same if you have any other, if I have contact, if I have the contact page, if the status is 200, I want to run the contact function. Same, I'll just create one contact.pug, contact.pug, sorry, contact.pug. So I'll just put an exclamatory. I'll just tell title as a doc title name. I'll just change it to contact, and inside my body I want a h2 tag. I'll just tell this is my contact page. Save it. So once I save, come back here, refresh. So my start is starting perfectly. If I just go to the /contact, You can see it is telling me slash contact. This is my contact page. Suppose if I go to any of the page, yeah, it is getting cannot get a request like that. Okay, this is how we can render the outputs in the Node.js using Express. Okay, I hope you have understood things. If you have any doubts, just ask me. So I have not set the database connections because each framework will take 1 2 hour, 1.5 hour session like that. So I thought of telling you how all the things will work from the front end and back end. So how the technologies has been using. If I am using a technology as a Node.js, this is how the renderings will happen. If I am using as a Flask, that is how the rendering will happen. Even for the Django, will be rendering will happen like that. Okay. So for yeah, pug file is like a HTML file without any tags. No, without any tags in not sense like that. With tags, even you can see we are using a tags here. We are using a tags, but it acts like some indentations. Some indentations, like is there? If you go to the pug documentation, easily you can understand. If you read that pug documentation, you will be easily understand how the syntax we can use. Okay, understood, guys? So I have already installed Node.js in the desktop. Do I still need to install Node.js package in the Visual Studio terminal? No, you don't need to install. If you have used one into the system means it is fine. Even you can see in the Node.js, if I open a terminal, which terminal it is taking? It is taking my C drive terminal itself. You can see it is taking me a command prompt terminal itself. Okay, that is not the issue. If you have installed from here or there, it is fine. Got it, guys? So I was a little bit fast. Sorry for that. I wanted to complete the stuff, so I went it little bit fast. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubts from your side? So we're gonna have workshop on mobile app development or directly course internship start. We have for mobile app, we'll notify. So after this workshop, we'll have data science, machine learning. So then we'll have the cyber security workshop at 8 p.m. Okay. If you want to get more knowledge into the full stack, you can register to the domain full stack web development. As I said, I'll be using a Django as a backend and completely will clear all the stuffs, whatever I have promised, whatever the things I have said, 100% I'll be clearing that one. Okay. 24 hours available. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me. Fine. So, okay. Thank you, guys. Can we do an internship? Yeah, you can do. Okay, not an issue. If you are convenient time, and it won't affect your regular classes. Okay, as you know, all things will be conducted in the evening times. So evening times, no classes will be going on. So you can just enroll and you can just make use of these particular courses. Okay. So we are not charging much also because we'll be giving the training and from our corporate trainers will train you. So no problem in that one. Okay. Thank you, guys.